Okay, so we're meeting another member today. This is Kev, who joined us last season and is part of the Tyldesley's pike division. So, hi Kev.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you very, very much for chatting to us on what is possibly one of the warmest and most humid days of the year.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a shame we're not out in the field at the moment, but I am grateful we're not wearing layers of wool. So that's definitely a bonus.
Well, being pikeman, it's a layer of linen, layer of wool, then a layer of steel. Lovely.
Yeah.
I
have to say, I don't envy looking at the pike getting ready on one of those warm days where you've got your sort of under helmet cap and then that big sort of steel helmet on top.
Yes, I've got two different helmets. One for poncing in, because I do like to have a ponce, and one for battle. So one's lighter and thinner. So yeah, I have a preference, but the poncing one is no good for battle, unfortunately.
But you look fabulous.
I always look fabulous. If there's someone taking a photo, you can bet your backside I'm in it somewhere.
So, how did you get involved in reenacting then, and why? What was it about the pike block that was for you?
Right. Well, I initially got recruited through the other society. I don't know if we're allowed to mention their name.
Of course you are. No, we're all friends, and you know, all for reenacting.
The Sealed Knot had a sort of "this is who we are" type day at Shaw House here in Newbury, and I went along just as a spectator. I've always had a bit of an interest in history as a whole, so to see it there in the flesh, people doing their bit, it was quite interesting. I wouldn't say I was recruited. I was more sort of press ganged, if I'm honest. I made an inquiry and was not left alone after that. So yeah, so I joined the Sealed Knot 3 years ago, and after my first year with them, I was having a look at the muster list for the coming year, and it just wasn't happy. There was not enough musters for me to do. So the only obvious choice seemed to be join the English Civil War Society. So here I am. I say I'm absolutely mad for it, bonkers for it. I spend far too much money on kit, and I did 14 musters last year.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, over the two societies, 14 musters. It cost me a little bit of money, but the enjoyment I got in return was, yeah, priceless.
That's the whole thing about this hobby. If you're having a good time and you're having fun, then you know it's
absolutely. For me, the reenacting is a big part of it, but the bigger part is spending the time with the people, being able to talk to people and pick their brains and gain knowledge, and you know. So yeah, that's the biggest part for me, the social side. I'm not a massively social person. You won't find me in the beer tent, but you'll definitely find me around the campfire singing silly songs. So
I need someone to sing songs. Only if you hear me singing, that's a sure enough reason to make anyone run away. So people who can sing, that's always a better.
Yeah, no, I don't have a great singing voice.
So what was it about the pike block then that got your attention?
Well, this introduction day at Shaw House, I was given a pike to walk around with and all the rest of it. I thought, yeah, that's great. That's good. What got me was the sword. But once I finally got to a muster and got into the pike block and was out on the field with all the other reenactors doing my thing for real, it was like, yeah, this is a bit of me. I'm a big guy, so being a great big hurly-burly pike block with plenty of grunting and growling, it kind of suited me, really. It's a bit like rugby without the ball and replaced by big sticks. So yeah, I like the sort of physical side of it, the pushy shovey bit.
And getting to work in a group as well, that's always nice.
Well, that too, yes. Although the older you get, the less your body likes being pushed and shoved around and like big sweaty guys landing on top of you. You know, so eventually I'm at the moment trying to get an idea together as something I could do on living history, because yeah, if it's a hot day, you don't always want to be out in the sun pushing and shoving and what have you. Last year, it was Oxfordshire, 32-degree day, and there's Kev out in the middle of a field wearing linen, wool, steel, and rolling around in the grass, thinking, I must have rocks in my head doing this.
But that's something that's really nice about reenacting, though, is because you do get that chance to move around and try out different things. And even though you've been doing pike for sort of the last few years, it is easy enough for you to move over to the living history or try out something a little bit different. And you're not stuck in one job forever.
Yeah, well, my thing is where my interests lie are arms and armour. So that may well be something that I'll end up doing, is getting loads of different types of armour from across Europe and showing the differences in construction and things like that. And then there's the arms side of things as well. Being a pikeman, you have a pike, queen of the battlefield, apparently, and the people who carry them are the gentlemen of the pike, and I am definitely a gentleman. So, but yeah, that's me really. I'm the guy you'll always find at the back of the pike block, pushing, shoving, going, "Come on, lads, put more effort in."
So you're the encouragement guy. Everyone needs an encouragement guy.
You got no choice but move forward if I'm behind you. You will be going forward.
Any negatives of the pike block that you've come across, or has it all been a positive experience?
People's heels in your shins. That's not so nice, but there are ways around it. You've just got to be a little bit sneaky and clever about it.
You see, that's the thing that I don't think the pike get enough credit for, is quite how tactical it is.
Yeah, it's from a spectator's point of view, I'd imagine it's just a bunch of guys pushing and shoving each other around. But there is a certain amount of tactics involved, various different formations of the pike to achieve different goals, I guess. But yeah, I'm always grateful of that rest when the cavalry comes around, and you got to protect the musket. So
and we're very grateful for that.
Yes, I'm quite happy to have a little kneel down and a rest.
Well, yeah, of course, because historically that was a really, really vital job of the pike, was to protect the musket and keep the cavalry at a distance, because you certainly as a musketeer, you can feel pretty vulnerable out on the field when there's horses running around and not a lot else.
In an actual battle with muskets balls flying about, if you're a pikeman, you're probably the most likely person to catch a musket ball. Hopefully to the armour, and you'd have to hope that armour was strong enough to repel that ball. But in a lot of cases, that's not the case. Musket balls penetrating armour and then bouncing around inside your body. It doesn't sound like a great way to go to me, I've got to be honest.
No. So, I don't know if you've seen it before, but the museum in Newark, where we've done a couple of events before in the past, have got this wonderful set of armour with the original musket hole where the musket ball's punched its way through, and it does really show quite how much force those musket balls have behind them if you're not in the right place and that armour's not doing the job.
Well, that's the thing. With a lot of these armours with actual holes in, you'll notice that there's a hole in the front, but not one in the back, because it didn't, quite simply bounced off the back plate and straight back into you. So not a great day. And then carrying all the like fabric and what have you from your clothing, infection was an almost certainty. So yeah, but I don't think we should dwell too much on the grotesque side of it.
No, well, and I'm sure everyone's pleased to hear that we don't actually fire musket balls on the field, because we're not actually trying to kill anybody.
No. What I will say though is, with or without ball, muskets are jolly good fun to fire.
And I know that I'm probably going to get into trouble from our various pike officers for constantly going on about how much fun the musket is, but they are good.
It is good fun, but not as much fun as pike, I've got to say.
I have to say, also, every pike soldier I've ever spoken to has always finished off with that sentence as well.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. On a nice, hot, sunny day, I've often sort of looked over at the musket block and thought, oh, I think I might become musket. You know, no armour for a start. Of course, wearing armour isn't not a absolute rule. It's down to personal choice. And during the English Civil War, a lot of guys did throw away their armour because it was very cumbersome and, as we've already discussed, more often than not, wouldn't stop a musket ball. So it was just pointless having it. But I have the full set of armour: gorget, back and breastplate, tassets. Recently got hold of some pauldrons and what have you. More 30 Years' War that than English Civil War. That's not to say that some English soldiers didn't have them, you know. Some did, some didn't. Again, it's very much down to personal choice and what you could afford. If I was actually a real serving soldier, I'd be dead by now because I was about to buy my kit bit by bit. So, but yeah, it's all good fun. Tracking down the kit is not particularly difficult. There's plenty of people out there that make sort of doublets and breeches and your shirts and things like that. Good quality armour is the one that I find is difficult to pin down. And if it is good quality, it generally comes at a rather grand price. So, just like the soldiers of the day, I get what I can afford.
And for anybody who does join or wanted to join Sir Thomas Tyldesley, we also have a big van full of kit to lend out to people, certainly as they're getting themselves together and finding the pieces that they actually like. And armour especially is something that, from what I hear, is much, much better if it actually fits them properly. Yes,
I can guarantee you that. I've worn armour that's too small, and one looks ridiculous, and two, it's so uncomfortable to wear. It really is. Like armour generally, even if it fits you correctly, after you've had it on for sort of half an hour or so, you're really starting to feel it across the shoulders, especially. And if you've got other bits of kit on, say like a baldric for your sword, that's constantly riding up over your armour and sort of digging into your neck, and so it's all good fun, but it does come at a cost.
Yeah,
you know,
and makes you realise about what these soldiers are actually having to put up with.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been reliably informed that armour from the previous centuries, before the Civil War, it was actually, you know, a lot more comfortable to wear because you had gambesons and, you know, padded coats and stuff underneath. So, but not having any of that armour or related kit, I couldn't say conclusively whether that's the case or not. But all I know is pikeman's armour after half an hour is bloody uncomfortable. So, but I'm sure it's like anything. The more you pay, the better the quality, and the less painful it is. Yeah, very true. Something's got to change, right? Well, yeah, you got to make sacrifices somewhere. Brilliant. Thank you so much for meeting us and having a chat and talking about my blog. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be in front of the camera, in or out of kit. I'd like to do it in kit next time, you know, just so I can show off a bit more. Roll on next season when hopefully we've got some events again. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, you will definitely see my face there. I've got a few reenactments to catch up on. Brilliant. Thanks so much, Kev. You're welcome. Bye-bye now.